What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Nero, and today I want to be reviewing what I consider my game of the year, an absolutely beautiful game, a masterpiece, and a 10 out of 10 if I've ever seen one. And that's saying a lot in a year that was packed with so many great games, man. 2023 has been an amazing year for games, man. It is absolutely beautiful. So many great games I've reviewed this year through Game Pass, through games I purchased, and if you've been with me this whole year, then you will know. But look, before we get into this video, I want to shout out to my first sponsor ever on YouTube. This means a lot, and it's a brother, a great guy, man. My guy Sticks Figures Gaming, man. He's a behavioral scientist, which is dope. He's an author, he's a gaming investor, a fashion designer, has his PhD, a music producer, an entrepreneur, and a human behavioral consultant as well. Like, this guy does it all, man. And from one young man looking up to another gaming OG in the community, man, it's real dope, man. He has a really dope fashion brand. You can see in the background, really dope stuff. All his links will be in my bio. He has some really great doctoral articles up as well, speaking on a plethora of things, man, from mental health to friends to just all type of stuff that, you know, really it might help you out, man. You know, it's just a lot of great stuff. All his links is going to be in the description. Sticks, when you see this, bro, much love to you, man. What you're doing is amazing. I really appreciate you sponsoring this video, because without you, this would not be possible. So once again, thank you. All his links will be in the description of this video. Go, you know, look him up, man. Read his articles, follow him on Twitter. But enough of that. Let's get to the meat of why you guys is here. And the first thing I want to do, I'm going to touch on a few things within this review. I'm not going to touch on a bunch of story details. I refuse to spoil this game. It is, like I said, one of my favorite games of all time, and definitely my favorite game of the year. So the first thing I want to talk about is graphics and gameplay and art design. This game has some of the best graphics I've ever seen, and it just won best art design at the Game Awards, if that mean anything to anyone. I know some people care, some don't, but the reason I bring that up is because I feel like it's very well deserved. Now, it has been really good games this year with art design, Hi-Fi Rush, Hogwarts Legacy, but this game right here, this is top tier. You know, Remedy, they did it with Quantum Break, where they mix in the live action performances and stuff like that, but the way they blend it all together, I feel like only Remedy could pull this off. Maybe Kojima as well, but that's about where it ends when you come and look at what they're doing with this game as far as art. If it's one thing I will say about this game, is overall it's just artwork all around, from the story to the characters to the world design to the way the game is designed. Everything about it is art, man. The game is extremely detailed. I played in performance mode on the Xbox Series X. Facial animations were some of the best in the industry. Saga and Alan Wake both felt very different from one another, and they overall had their own feel to them, you know. And not only that, they had their own weapons as well, so that was kind of dope. They both just don't feel the same. And they worlds that they're in, the split worlds, right, from the reality and the dark place, both feel very, very good and just interesting, right? So that's beautiful. The world is great, man. No matter which order you play in, you can play Alan chapters first or just really play Saga story first, but I'll touch on more of that when I get into the story in detail, right? The next thing I want to talk about is music and sound design.
Fucking awesome. I want a t-shirt. Show's drawing a crowd. Taking incoming, Anderson.
And if you know Nero, then you know I'm huge on music and great sound design in video games. And this is some of the best music I've heard in a video game ever. Right after each chapter, it's an entire song that would play, and I would listen every single time. They had a live performance at the Game Awards, and man, it was really dope, man. They tracks are just top tier, man. Like I said, after every chapter, I just wanted to sit there and listen to the entire song. The guns sound amazing. The music, the suspense during, like, you know, suspenseful and horror. You know, when the horror is cranked up, the music is very satisfying as well. And just hearing the Taken whisper, right, it reminds me of Hellblade audio, right, when she hear the voices in her head and stuff like that, but it's a little less, because these is just talking shadows, man. And it'd be like Alan Wake. It's just like, it's so dope, man. It's really dope. I love it, man. It's just all around great great sound design and music, man. They absolutely killed it, right? And the voice actors as well. I'm gonna touch on this more at depth later in the video, but the voice acting all around is beautiful, man. Like Saga Anderson, man, I'm gonna touch on her soon, right? So that leads me into the story, man. Let's talk about the story and the attention to detail. This story is one of the best video game stories I've ever seen. Remedy, the way they tell stories and the storytelling they do is top tier. It's some of the best I've ever seen in a video game. And honestly, after Alan Wake 1, I always wanted to see how they will handle 2, and it was always interesting, right? But the way they handled this was just so perfect, and it fits with the first game and how long it took between first games. And I'm not going to spoil anything, right? But in order to have really good storytelling, especially in the sequel, you have to already have a really, really good universe, period. And the universe that Remedy has built is God tier, man. From Alan Wake 1 and its DLC to the Alan Wake remake, right? All the way to Control and Quantum Break. The world is so flushed out and connected from one another. I love it because my immersion is always pulled in deeper and deeper. I always want to learn more. I always want to read the manuscripts, and Control, I always wanted to read every piece of paper I picked up, man. I'm just overly invested. And as you guys can hear, I'm really passionate about that universe. Remedy is very underrated. I absolutely love these guys, man, right? So the next thing I want to touch on is the gunplay, how it feels in the combat. Okay, so the gunplay in the combat is a huge step up from the first game in every aspect, even from the movement to just the overall feel is amazing. In the first game, let's be honest, as much as I love it, you couldn't run 5 to 10 yards without Alan Wake being out of breath and him hunched over and trying to catch his breath. And that was really funny, and I love that game. And on hard, it makes it that much more funnier, right? But he had ride-alongs. All his strength was in his arms, and none of his strength was in his legs and stamina. That's funny, right? Saga felt amazing to play, and this is one of my new favorite characters in the video game, right next to Claire and Jill from Resident Evil. She just feels so dope, man. Like everything about her, man. Her story, her, you know, her just her detective skills, going into the mind place, which in my opinion is very dope. You know, as soon as you pause it, it's instantly, and you're in this mind place, like your own little office in your head. You can walk around, and you know, the detective stuff in there is extremely well done. It's just, this game blends so many genres together that's actually really insane, right? I also want to talk about replayability. The game is adding a new Game Plus update very soon and a new difficulty mode, which will help me platinum the game and go back and get all the collectibles. I only have about like maybe 10, probably less than that. I'm at 800 gamer score out of the 1,000 for the completion, right? The 100% completion. So one of the last things I want to talk about, guys, before I end this, is the voice acting. The voice acting in this game is amazing, and like I said, it's some of the best voice acting I've ever seen in the video game. The entire cast was just perfection, right? I don't know what else I can say about it. From the main characters to the side characters and even the NPCs, everybody in this world felt like they belonged. This game was all around an amazing experience and one of my favorite games of all time, and one of my favorite franchises of all time, set in one of my favorite universes of all times, made by one of my favorite developer studios of all time. Remedy, you guys have absolutely killed it. This is my 2023 game of the year. It's still a few weeks left in this month before we get to 2024. So, and I got a couple games I haven't played yet. Jedi Survivor, just picked that up on sale. Gotta finish Armored Core 6. You know, and what else? Just got Avium, Immortals of Avium. So it's a few games I still want to play. Still want to eventually get around to checking out Baldur's Gate 3 whenever I can. So from the games I played, and I beat about 50 games this year, and most of my reviews is on YouTube, this game is absolutely amazing, man. I highly recommend it. If you guys has made it this deep into the video, for one, let me just say you are a real one. I really appreciate you. Please give me any feedback in the comments, what you like, what you didn't like. If you invested in this game, if you're thinking about picking it up, make sure you like this video. Make sure you share. Make sure you subscribe. It's been your boy Nero. I'll catch you in the next one. Once again, special shout out to the homie Sticks Gaming. He's amazing, bro. I really appreciate you, brother. And for anybody else who want to reach out, if it's anything you want me to review, any game at all, if you want to shout out, man, just follow me on Twitter, man. Hit me up. Email me, man. We'll get some things going. But like I said, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.